Hi, welcome to my first YouTube video ever, and to make it even worse for myself, I have decided to speak English. I have made some friends online and on YouTube, so hopefully if I speak English they will understand at least some of what I'm saying. I googled some get to know me questions. It probably would have been a good idea for me to look at the questions beforehand, however I didn't. How did your childhood prepare you for life? I have learned to take responsibility, not expect to be given a lot of things for free. I have always been surrounded by people that work hard, so I think that has shaped me to work hard for what I want. I remember one summer, I don't think it's legal to make 13-year-olds work. However, I did, because a friend of mine, his parents, they grew strawberries and had field after field after field filled with strawberries. Every morning they opened it so people can come there and pick for themselves. But before we were there to take some of the best strawberries so they could sell them, we were paid ridiculously small amounts of money. If it was a lot of strawberries, we got less money than if it were just a few. So we never made any money, really. I remember it was 1 Swedish krona per liter you picked, and that's about $1 is 10 Swedish crowns. It's ridiculously little payment. And sometimes we got even less than that. And I rode my bike. We started picking 4 in the morning. 2 o'clock at night I started riding my bike so I could be there at 4, and then I rode my bike home. I don't know how much I made, but I remember I bought a ring. I had wanted that for a very long time. My mom has saved that ring to remind me of my first summer as a strawberry picker. Describe your first car. My father was a car mechanic, and when I turned 18 I got a car. It was a Mercedes-Benz, like a minibus, but he had made it into a house car because me and my boyfriend that I had at the time wanted to go on vacation, so he gave me that car. That car was so crappy. You could hardly drive it. It went 30 kilometers per hour. When we got to our destination, the car broke. We had been traveling in the car for 2 days because we wanted to go to Öland. It's an island. And when we got there, the car broke. So we tried to find a shop, to help us fix it. And they couldn't fix it because it was too old, because it was really old. And we had to stay in the car, in the shop where they repaired the car. So they came there every morning at 5 o'clock and started working. We had to wake up at 5 o'clock. After a week, they finally got the car to start, and they said, don't turn it off, just drive home. It was horrible. We had to drive for 2 days. If we turned the engine off, it would die. When I came home, my dad gave me another car, and that was a Golf. Throughout my life, my dad has provided me with cars. He didn't put all that effort into, and I can also see why, because I'm a horrible driver. So it had a hole in the... When it rained, you had to have a raincoat on because water came in the car, and I had to have special car boots because my feet got wet, and there was some kind of leak in the engine, so sometimes it started burning, And the first time flames came up, I got really, really scared and freaked out. And since I'm old, 40 plus, I didn't have a mobile phone to call anyone. And I just left the car and ran. I ran until I met someone. Like, my car is on fire. But then my dad came and he was like, cars don't explode as they do on the movies. Calm down, here's a blanket. The next time the car bursts into flame, take the blanket, kill the fire, drive on. So that's what I did. Do you have hidden talents most people don't know about? No, I don't have any talents. I'm completely talentless. What embarrassing mistake have you made that has taught you a lesson? I can't think of anything big. I always think if something is good, more is better. What comes into my mind? When I was 13, I read in one of my mother's magazines that if you had puffy eyes, you should use tea bags on your eyes. So in my really bright mind, I thought, I don't even think I had eye bags when I was 13, but I thought I had. So I took the advice of having tea bags on your eyes. Of course, I took it a step further. So I decided that if you put the tea bags on your eyes when you went to sleep, and then just kept them there all night, then when you woke up in the morning, you would be so beautiful and no puffiness anywhere. So I took, and I imagine you probably shouldn't be using Earl Grey black tea. That's what I used. I took Earl Grey tea bags, 2 of them, and I put them in water and I put them on my eyes. And then I took the belt to my robe and I tied the tea bags like really tight on my eyes. And then I went to sleep. However, when I woke up and removed the tea bags, my eyes were dark, dark brown. All the way around. I looked like a moron. And I had it for, say, 12 hours, pushing on my eyes. My mom was so mad at me. What the hell have you done? Why are your eyes brown? And so I told her, and she wasn't all that impressed. And so I had to go to school with raccoon eyes. It was horrible. I will never, never use tea bags on my eyes for a whole night ever again. What's the most unusual item in your desk drawer? I have binoculars that my dad gave me. That was my grandfather's. These, I usually have them in my car because they're car binoculars. They're really old and there's a glass missing. But if I drive by something and I think it's interesting, but for now it's in my desk drawer. Maybe that's unusual, I don't know. What's your favorite sports team and how far will you? I'm sports stupid. I'm not interested in sports. I don't care about sports. I understand that other people love sport, but it's not for me. Share something funny about your pet. I have a dog. She is soon 16. She's not home right now, so she can't be on camera. A Swedish thing you always eat in the summer, surströmming. It's like rotten fish. That's what it is, really. And it smells like trash and toilet, and it smells everything bad you can imagine all at once. When she was a puppy, we were at my boyfriend's, and his dad and his mom loved surströmming, so they had a small party and they served surströmming. Because it smells so bad, they went into the woods and buried the rests of the fish that no one ate. That's good and fine. And they lived in the country, so the dog ran loose. And suddenly she disappeared. And we looked and looked for everywhere, couldn't find her. And then she comes back, and it turns out she had found where they buried the surströmming. She had rolled in it. You know, the fur was all like oily and she smelled gross. To this day, I have never seen her happier than when she came back and had a bath in surströmming, and everyone almost puked. And I washed her. I washed her. The smell wouldn't go away. We lived very, very far from where his parents lived. So when we had to go home in the car, the dog smelled really bad and she got sweaty and the car just smelled. Oh, it was horrible. She smelled for 3 weeks, maybe more. Oh my God, what's wrong with your dog? She took a bath in surströmming. What's your guilty pleasure? I eat a lot of candy, too much candy. How did people describe you in your high school yearbook? We didn't have a high school yearbook. However, we had a prom. I had decided not to go, but then the day before I decided to go because my mom wanted me to go and my friends wanted me to go. But since it was the day before I decided to go, I of course didn't have a dress. I'm really short, so it was hard finding a dress that was small enough for me, and it was a dress that didn't have any shoulder straps. It just stopped here. I have really small breasts. The breasts were supposed to like keep it up. I didn't think that was a problem, and if anyone else had gone to the prom with a dress like that, which I'm sure hundreds, tens of thousands of people have done, it wouldn't have been a problem. But of course I made it into a problem. I think the first mistake maybe was, and my mom was so mad at me because she had to pay extra to get it cleaned. Something went wrong on the prom night, so the band that was supposed to come and play music never showed up. So they tried to compensate by having free bar, and I used my opportunity for a free bar. So I had a lot of shots, and I had licorice shots. I imagine in the beginning all went well, but the more shots I had, I started missing my mouth, and so I threw them over my shoulder. But to the big thing. When the prom was over, everyone was supposed to go downtown to this cafe for breakfast, and everyone wanted to go in a cab except for me because I wanted to walk. So everyone was just standing there getting ready to get into the cab, and I just started to walk because I was going to walk into town, and someone stood on my dress and I walked and my dress didn't, so it ended up like a little skirt. I showed the whole thing and I was really sad because I just had flashed everyone. I did manage to get downtown to have the breakfast, but then my mom picked me and my friends up, and I was really upset, and so my friends told my mom, and my mom, well, that's no big deal because they're so small. It ended with my friends not only making fun of me because I had dropped my dress, but because my mom said it was not a big thing because I didn't have boobs. Who's your best friend and why? I have never had a best friend, and that's not because I haven't had friends, it's because I don't want to label someone my best friend, because then you exclude someone else, and everyone I think is important in different ways. Maybe I would say my mom. What's on your bucket list? I will just skip that question. I don't even know how long I have been talking for, or if I should continue talking. I think I'm just gonna wrap it up. Maybe I will see you next time. Bye!